आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Hello students, the question is type of bonding present in hydrogen chloride. Your options are metallic, ionic, covalent, coordinate. Okay, so here we need to tell what kind of bonding is present in the hydrogen chloride. Okay, so hydrogen chloride is what? It is HCl, right? So we know that in HCl, see what happens here is that hydrogen gives 1 electron. And Cl, we know that what is the electronic configuration of hydrogen? It is 1s1. It is 1, right? Hydrogen has 1 electron in it and its electronic configuration is also 1, right? But if you see chlorine, that is Cl, it is what? 2, 8 and 7. That means its valence shell has 7 electrons in it. Okay. So we will show it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, right? 7 electrons. Now what happens is hydrogen shares 1 electron, Cl shares 1 electron, and thus they lead to the sharing of electrons. And we know that sharing of electrons, let me draw this again over here so that it will be clear to you. We have hydrogen, right, with single electron. We have Cl with single electron, which is Cl is sharing 1 electron, right? Cl is sharing 1 electron and the rest are here. Okay. In this way, the sharing of electrons takes place and thus HCl can form bond like this. Like this. So in this way, the electrons of hydrogen and Cl are getting shared, and we know that whenever the sharing of electrons takes place, the bond that is formed here will be known as what? Covalent bond, because we know that covalent bond forms whenever the sharing of electrons takes place. Covalent bond is going to form, right? So this is a covalent bond. Okay, so one single bond is going to be formed, which we can also show by like this, HCl. Okay, so thus your answer will be what? Covalent bond. But I'm sure you must be confused. You must be thinking that here we know that here hydrogen is having what? Partial positive charge on it. It gets a partial positive charge, and Cl gets partial negative charge over it. Why so? Because Cl is more electronegative, right? Because Cl is more electronegative than hydrogen, what happens is the polarity between this covalent bond generates, and because of that some of the electrons are more shifted towards chlorine atom, because Cl is more electronegative, and what electronegative atom does? It pulls electrons towards itself. So thus Cl will pull this shared pair of electrons towards itself and thus will get a partial negative charge on it, and hydrogen, because electrons are being pulled by Cl towards itself, the shared pair of electrons are being pulled by Cl towards itself, so hydrogen will get a partial positive charge on it, and thus a polarity generates. Okay, so that's why this, because polarity is generating in a covalent bond, you can also name this bond as polar covalent bond. Polar covalent bond. Alright, polar covalent bond. But you will not call it as ionic bond, okay, because no ions are generating here. Here HCl is present, there is a polarity in that covalent bond which will be known as polar covalent bond, but not ionic bond. Why? Because here ions are not generated. No ions are forming here. Since no ions are forming here, that's why this will not be known as ionic bond. There is just a polarity between in the covalent bond. That's why it will be known as polar covalent bond. Okay. But now let's see in the options. We have metallic bond. No, it is not a metallic bond. Why it is not a metallic bond? Because hydrogen and Cl, they are both what? They both are non-metals. Right. They both are non-metal. They are not metals. And since they are not metals, that's why no metallic bonding is there. That's why no metallic bonding is there. So your option A will be incorrect. Okay. Your option A will be incorrect. Now option B is what? Ionic, right? I just told you that this is not ionic bond. Why? Because no ions are being generated. Since no ions are being generated, that's why your ionic is also not the correct answer. Okay, ionic is also not the correct answer. Covalent bond, yes. Our HCl has covalent bond in it, or more precisely we say it has a polar covalent bond. Okay, but no ions are being formed. That's why this is not an ionic bond. So your correct answer is option C, that is your covalent bond. Okay, coordinate bond. See, what is coordinate bond? What happens in coordinate bond is that, let's say we have this ammonia NH3. Okay, it has lone pair, and we also have this BH3. We know that in this BH3, boron has an empty p orbital. So what happens is this ammonia donates its lone pair of electrons to this empty p orbital of boron. So whenever one atom donates its electrons to the other atom's empty orbital, that will be known as your coordinate bond. Right, but here, as we just saw, that their sharing of electrons are being taking place. It is H, hydrogen or Cl. None of them is donating electrons. Okay, what they are doing, they are sharing electrons, and because they are sharing electrons, that's why they are forming a covalent bond and not a coordinate bond. So your option D is also incorrect answer. Your correct answer is option C, covalent bond. I hope you understood. Thank you so much.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।